Caitlin Clark's path to the WNBA feels as inevitable as sunrise. There's a unique energy surrounding her, a buzz that seems to grow louder with each passing game. She's not your everyday basketball star. She's got an unmistakable presence that draws you in, makes you sit up, and keeps your eyes glued to her every move. It's more than her talent. Yes, she's got that in spades, her stats, her highlight reels, her sheer impact on the court. They all tell a story of greatness in the making. But it's also her attitude, her grit, and her ability to turn a regular game into an event. There are hints, big and small, that Caitlin Clark is gearing up for the big leagues, and each one feels like another page turning in a book you can't put down. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. You don't even have to squint to see the signs. College basketball, especially in the women's division, has its stars, but Clark has made herself a star. She steps onto the court with a kind of bravado usually reserved for seasoned pros. This confidence isn't about cockiness, it's that quiet, assured belief that she's where she's supposed to be. It's almost like she's already there in her mind, running with the WNBA crowd, measuring herself against them. And if you've watched her play, you know she's not wrong to think that way. There's an air of expectation around her that makes it clear she's not going to stop at the college level. The WNBA is right there, within reach, and she's all but claiming her spot. Clark has a way of taking charge on the court that feels both natural and deliberate. She can be fiery, competitive, and yes, sometimes just a touch dramatic. She might pump her fist after a three-pointer or flash a sly smile after a tricky play. Her body language says a lot. There's a sense that she's fully aware of what she brings to the game. But beyond the flashy moves and the big plays, there's her relentless drive. She's got this unyielding push to be the best, and that intensity is hard to ignore. Even her opponents seem to recognize that she's playing at a level that's just different. When she's on the court, there's a tension, a feeling that something big is about to happen, and 9 times out of 10 it does. It's this palpable energy that hints at her readiness for the next level, for a bigger stage, and for the tougher competition of the WNBA. There's also her growing presence outside the game itself. Fans, analysts, and even former players are taking notice. She's sparked conversations not just about her own future, but about the state of women's basketball as a whole. People are tuning in to see her play, sometimes specifically just to see her. And that's not something you see every day in college sports, especially on the women's side. Caitlin has managed to pull the spotlight toward her, bringing more visibility to women's basketball and sparking a kind of excitement that few players manage to ignite. This is a big hint that her career is heading somewhere extraordinary. She's creating her own gravitational pull, drawing attention to herself and by extension the WNBA as her next obvious destination. There's something magnetic about the way she plays, a style that feels both grounded and explosive. She's quick on her feet, sharp in her decisions, and she has a knack for the unexpected. Watch her long enough, and you start to see patterns. She's reading the game a few steps ahead of everyone else. This ability to anticipate, to calculate on the fly, is the mark of a player who's destined for something bigger. It's not just about scoring points, it's about commanding the game. Caitlin seems to understand this instinctively. She knows when to push, when to pull back, and when to take a shot that others wouldn't even consider. This control, this understanding of the game, makes it clear that she's not only preparing for the WNBA, but is probably already imagining how she'll shape herself to fit it, or maybe how she'll shape it to fit her. In her interviews, you can see flashes of her humor and personality, glimpses that make her even more compelling. She has a way of being refreshingly honest without sounding like she's trying too hard. She's got that quick wit, that easy charm, but she doesn't sugarcoat things. She'll talk about her game, her goals, and her love for basketball with a straightforwardness that makes her easy to root for. You can tell she's not here to waste time or to play small. She's driven, but she doesn't take herself too seriously. It's this blend of confidence and down-to-earth humor that makes fans love her even more. There's no pretense. She's just a player who loves the game, wants to win, and isn't afraid to have a little fun along the way. Her personality is another clue, a hint that she'll fit right in with the league's best, bringing a fresh perspective and a fearless attitude. But maybe the biggest clue that Caitlin Clark is bound for the WNBA is in how she handles pressure. Big games, tight scores, the weight of expectation. She doesn't seem fazed. In fact, she seems to thrive in those moments. Some players shrink under pressure, but not Clark. She steps up, and more often than not, she delivers. This mental toughness, this ability to stay calm and focused when things are on the line, is exactly what sets great players apart. It's the kind of skill that can't be taught. You either have it or you don't, and Clark has it in spades. She doesn't let the hype or the stakes get to her. Instead, she uses them as fuel. Watching her handle these moments with such poise makes it clear that she's not only ready for the WNBA, but that she might just take it by storm. And then there's the fan factor. Caitlin Clark has built a following that's loyal, passionate, and growing by the day. People are invested in her journey, in where she's headed next, and in what she'll achieve. It's rare to see this kind of fan devotion for a college player, but Clark has earned it. She's put on a show, game after game, and people are hooked. They're not just watching her, they're cheering for her, waiting to see what she'll do next. This kind of fan engagement is something the NBA can't ignore. It's a sure sign that Clark would bring new eyes to the league, that her presence would add a new dimension of excitement and anticipation. Her fans want to see her succeed, and they're ready to follow her to the next level. Her journey to this point has been anything but ordinary, and that's part of her appeal. Clark didn't just walk into college basketball as a fully formed star. She put in the work, made sacrifices, and let her game speak for itself. She has shown that greatness isn't just about talent. It's about resilience, consistency, and a deep love for the game. Her rise has been a lesson in grit, in setting goals and then blowing past them. And now, with each jaw-dropping performance, she's sending a clear message. She's ready for whatever comes next. It's this sense of readiness, of constantly raising the stakes, that makes her so captivating to watch. Every time she takes the court, it feels like she's not just playing to win. She's playing to prove herself, to prepare for the next level. Clark's impact on her team is also a testament to her leadership. She's not just a scorer or a shooter. She's the kind of player who makes everyone around her better. Teammates look to her for guidance, and she delivers, often elevating the whole team's play with her own intensity and focus. This is a quality that will serve her well in the WNBA, where the pace is faster, the competition tougher, and the stakes higher. Clark's ability to bring out the best in her teammates hints at a future where she could become not just a player, but a leader in the league, someone who can take a franchise to new heights. The media has picked up on this too, with analysts frequently pointing out her pro-level skills and mentality. They see the same thing the fans do, a player with a rare combination of talent and drive, someone who's poised to make an impact in the WNBA from day one. The coverage around her has only fueled the speculation, with each glowing review adding to the anticipation. The spotlight doesn't seem to bother her, though. If anything, she seems to thrive under it, as if she's already got one foot in the door of the league, ready to take on whatever challenges come her way. In the end, Caitlin Clark isn't just building a career, she's building a legacy. Her journey to the WNBA is already shaping up to be one of the most anticipated in recent memory, and it's clear she's not just going to be another player. She's going to be a force, someone who changes the conversation around women's basketball and inspires a new generation of players. Fans can feel it, analysts can see it, and Caitlin herself seems to know it. The WNBA awaits, and Clark's arrival feels like it's going to be a defining moment, not just for her, but for the league, and for everyone who loves the game. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.